Oh, all right, let's get rid of that because that's gonna echo. Hey, what is going on, everybody? I assume everyone can hear me. It's your boy Button Ash coming in live in shoutcasting this game. We're a bit late. What? Unlucky. Oh my god. Actually, someone's screaming it, so we're good. We got ourselves a third match of the night. We got ourselves Warped versus the one and only Chris Strider's team, AltF4. I'm going to be joined by Liam as soon as or Bloodx as soon as I unmute in Discord. One moment. Alright, yo, Liam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, welcome.
Ready to get into this game. We're just setting up the lobby now. That was a bit of a hiccup there, but it is on the way, and yeah, we should be getting into this game very soon, guys, so we're excited for it.
Oh, okay, that's a bit. Anyway, but yeah, it should just be momentarily. Let me just sort out the stream. Oh, Norton, go away, Norton. But yeah, we should have ourselves a nice match. We got Warped and AltF4. What? Oh. Anyway, so Chris, how you doing, bro? I mean, Liam, Jesus. Oh. My bad, bro.
I gotta get more Diana and Renekton points before you start calling me that, buddy. But yeah, I'm doing fine, obviously. I'm having a nice casual off week, having a bye this week for the Jupiter's Angels, and enjoying the game so far. Last match, I'm not sure if you caught it, Nash.
I caught the last bit.
Was a spectacle, so I'm hoping this one can live up to it. That was a game of all time. Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah, I did see the I saw the last maybe 10 minutes of it ish. I didn't see most of the important stuff go through, but it did see how it ended, so that was quite spicy.
Yeah, nice spicy pentakill to finish off the game for Ardmona there. He's gonna be super chuffed about that one, I imagine, and yeah, it's just what a story from him. Everyone on Destiny was inting that game, like hands down. I think Prodigium's maybe the only one. He had a couple deaths, but the whole top side was running it down, and Ardmona brings it home for a team. That is a storyline and a half here. I'm hoping we're going to get another storyline here tonight as Strider makes his NTEC debut, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we're all hyped for that one.
Yes,
as we're about to get into Champions Select, I think we're ready now.
I believe so.
Yeah, we'll kick it off. I'll drop the R ready for them, and we should get in.
Why is that going through there?
We are in, ladies and gentlemen. What do you reckon is going to come through in this draft, Nash? What is the strategy? You were playing with Strider in the past, so what do you think is going to happen? How are they going to adapt?
No idea. They didn't tell me anything about drafting. All right, I just went up. I don't know. It's very hard to say because they're playing a little bit different than when I was playing with them. So I can't really say for certain. But I mean, we're probably gonna see Chris on one of the go-to picks at one of his classics if it doesn't all get banned. They've already gotten rid of the Renekton and the Mouth, so there will be no Chris Strider specials tonight.
Yep, well, that is the hidden buff of Chris Strider. You must ban him out. Everyone's throwing bans in his directions, and we might see the round off here with the Diana ban, but it might be left up on purpose, and you always got to think, what do they have cooking in the kitchen if they leave the Diana up? It's almost guaranteed
the bait.
Strider's going to take it if you give it to him. So we'll see how it goes, but no, Diana's left open, and an Ezreal ban. Will it be a Diana first pick? Will it be a Diana counter pick? What have they got cooking in the kitchen here? As AltF4 are considering their last ban, taking away the brand. Obviously, Nita Mama had a great performance against Jupos. Absolutely clapped our cheeks with it. Can't deny that one. And the Skarner being taken away. Very meta champion. Sensible, taking that away from the blue side when you can't pick it yourself. And finally, they banned Diana themselves. So maybe they're reading into this like, oh, you left the Diana up because you're going to first pick it. Now we're going to ban it. Even though Strider would have loved to have that in his hands, they take it off the table. Some mind games already going on in the ban phase.
Yes, sir. I don't know. Yeah, man, they're just kind of biting themselves, right? The snake is eating itself. I don't know what to say. Yeah, the Diana, I guess they believe that the Warps can play with Diana better than they can. Unlucky. But what do we got? There's another Zac, eh?
Yeah, another Zac being picked up, a very powerful champion if you don't have anything to deal with it, but it's picked early onto the draft, so we'll see how far can Team Warped reach into that pool to pick champions that are really good at denying it. Poppy is obviously like the immediate one that comes to mind, but some other champions with like the instant CC, like a Syndra E, can stop Zac mid E and really cancel out on that engage. And once you deny the Zac elastic slingshot, he's not too threatening in the team fight as long as you keep him off of those carries. But if he's on them with a Galio on his head, you best believe those carries are going down, and they're already picking up a pretty strong front line for themselves on the side of Team AltF4. How do you think Team Warped are going to respond here?
They're gonna brute force it because we got that Sion mid again. Yeah, the boys. Well, they haven't picked jungle yet, so there's always the threat. Never mind, they've banned Brand. They're done. The Warped cannot respond. Their go-to brand is. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean the jungler, I still don't know because we've seen him play Brand, the Nidalee. I suspect he probably into a Zac and a Galio. He won't be pulling out the Nidalee. Could try something spicy, maybe a Zyra, which I don't know if that even works into those two, but I do know that I think he's had a couple games on Zyra, practicing, so who knows?
I think, yeah, Team Warped are pretty well practiced across the board. I think the one thing they do break away from meta pretty significantly is in that mid lane. We've seen the support playing that supportive role for a team, playing those tanks in the mid lane here, and we might see the Sion mid here, but it's always got to be a flex. You know, Sion is traditionally played in the top lane. Could we see Johnny flex at top? Absolutely.
No.
So they can cook here. They definitely have the flexibility, and we could even just see like a complete wet noodle fight with tanks on both sides just everywhere. But I think they're smart here, taking away the Lilo, taking away the Karthus. Those were the main AP junglers in mind that I think really do well into tanks. So they've got a really good draft. Coming on the side of AltF4, they're making really intelligent bans. Like that Diana ban was maybe cooking. Maybe they really read into that Diana first pick. And now Nidamuma's plan for this match might be up in the air. He traditionally goes into this Nidalee, like you said, but do you really want to pick it into Zac Galio with all that CC? It's a much riskier pick. There's already, we see people play Nidalee all over the world absolutely failing to emulate Genji Canyon on that champion and just Genji in general, but we'll see what Nidalee falls back into this corner because he's a big cornerstone of his team. He has to be the carry. Or are they going to switch up this playstyle that we've been seeing them play every week?
Vol here! Alright, yeah, I'm kind of hyped for that. Alright, alright, that's definitely top. Alright, I've been wanting to pull out the volley bear myself, but you know, it would be a huge in and a rundown. But let's see how Jonu does it. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're waiting for this last pick. I'm hanging on my edge of my seat here because it's going to pretty much solidify the draft. Is that a top lane volley bear? No, it's a top. It is a top lane volley bear, but no, it's a Hecarim in the jungle, which I did not see at all. So this champion hasn't been meta for a while, and you don't see too many. But the Hecarims that do play the champion normally are pretty good at, you know, snowballing those leads. You know, Dante's comes to mind when it comes to this champion. And you know, when you give that guy a lead, he absolutely just turbo stomps the game. He just smurfs over all 5 champions, and oh my god, they are going with the Vayne top to counter the volley bear, and it's just counterpick central here. It is a cooking draft here. Both teams have cooked up some spicy stuff here. We got to see what they're going on, but I definitely would not have expected Strider to go on the Galio mid. That's something we haven't really commented on till now, but yeah, it looks now all is said and done. The dust is settled. I'm sort of leaning towards AltF4's draft here just because of the matchups themselves look pretty favorable.
No, he's committed a grave sin. He's gone range top. He's gone Vayne top. It's the one.
Avert your eyes.
It's the one.
We got heroes in the top lane. We gotta have some villains. You know, you gotta have an antagonist. Ezra playing his villain, picking Vayne top, and he's gonna absolutely rain terror on this volley bear in the laning phase. We'll see if Johnny's able to do it. I think there are some things you can do as volley bear. Vayne certainly oversteps. She's going to pay for it in that matchup, but if the Vayne is playing on point, it is just a nightmare. Like, you cannot get away with a minion without losing half of your health. A lot of the time, she just absolutely chases you down with that true damage too. What are you going to build? It's just a nightmare of a matchup. So you need the top lane to get some jungle assistance to really just deter that sort of aggression. But even if Zac ganks that and it's a 2v2, it's a difficult scenario. It's already really hard to stop a lane that's losing that bad, and that's why we see even at the top level people counter picking Vayne. There's not just a solo queue special, and we'll see how well they can leverage this game.
No, the original sin. It's the original sin. No. But well, I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely, I reckon, that's gonna probably make or break it. Because if this Vayne, I reckon, honestly, I like both teams, but honestly, I probably prefer Warps over AltF4s. Just because, I mean, AltF4's got the Zac, the Galio, like they've got good engage follow up and whatnot, but like they've got like Warp's got the choo choo train, they've got the horsey, they got the bear, so it's a lot of I don't know, I don't have the magic words to back up my claims, but I do like the plays that could be made from Warped. Especially if this Vayne cannot sustain themselves in the top lane. If Vayne falls behind, that might be a bit of trouble for AltF4.
I think Warped, it's got merit to it, but I think they definitely have got a limited way they can play this game. The win conditions definitely have to be get this Hecarim ahead and get this Ashe ahead. These are the only champions that are really going to be dealing damage, and even Hecarim isn't really known for hyper carrying without a super significant lead, and Ashe herself isn't even that crazy of a damage. I think they've got a little bit of a damage problem, and when you're playing into a Zac and a Galio, it's going to be really tough to get through those champions, especially with an army behind them. And if you look at the other side, they've got a Vayne and a Caitlyn. I don't think there's any damage problems there. Not to mention Zac, or Galio. If they find the right angle, they find the right engage onto a carry, they can blow them up just by themselves. These tanks certainly do not get slept on, as I'm sure a lot of people would like to say. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting draft. It's always going to come down to the early lanes and how do the people play early game to build these leads, because you can build the most perfect draft ever. If you can't lane, if you can't play well around the early game macro, you fall victim to these early game grub fights, you give up too many early dragons, that's going to change the course of the game, and we'll see how they go here, because I think that's going to be the main test for AltF4 in this laning phase. Can they really execute versus a team like Warp, who have shown they can rotate everywhere, absolutely smurf on teams in the macro side, but if they do, I think they've got the winning formula here. There's just not enough damage to get through these frontliners, and they've got fantastic carries. But we'll see how the game plays out. Nash, who are you going to stake your money on now that the dust is settled? If you had to pick a team, gun to your head, who are you backing tonight? Oh, Nash is just going to the toilet. Never mind, guys. I'll hold it down for the cast here as we load towards in. So Nash is in here, so I'm going to ask you guys in the chat, who are you backing tonight here? Who are we rooting for? Because something we haven't touched on just yet is the fact that both of these teams are contesting first place tonight. It is a first place match between AltF4 and Team Warped. Whoever wins this is going to take the lead ahead of the pack here. Just no contention for first place. This is a huge match for the ladder standings coming into round 4. That sort of marks us at the third, sort of the 30% way through the tournament, so nothing significant here. They've definitely built up a lead, and whoever can secure it first definitely has a good chance of making it to that top 4 at the end, which is where the money's at, where the prize is at. You definitely want to be in that top 4 for playoffs, so we'll see where things go. But we're already into the game here, and Warped are making a bit of a cheeky play. It looks like they're rotating to the top side, but AltF4 not too cheeky themselves, going towards the bot side here. Are they going to meet somewhere, and are we going to see some sparks fly?
Hopefully so. Oh, here we go. Good invade. Oh, sorry. Just give us a second. The overlays have been messed around with.
No worries, Azura, he's in a dangerous spot here. Does he spot them out? Oh, there's a random SW. I wonder if they had the knowledge about that. That was just a kind of wild W. There was no vision or anything, and he threw it out, and it was very close to landing. Would it have led to the kill? Maybe, maybe not, if some flashes were burnt, but they don't find anything. They don't even drop any wards. They were just looking for the kill onto that ranged top laner there, the Sinner himself. But
yes,
they don't find it here, and it looks like it's just going to be a standard top side matchup here. But with Niedermama pathing, starting bot side and possibly pathing top, I imagine he's going to try and put Ezreal behind, because that's probably going to make or break the top lane this game. Bit of cheekiness coming out there from OnFleek and Akuma, trying to catch them out coming into that bot lane bush, but Keetrus is playing on with map hacks or something. He W's the bush again, knows they're in there, and he catches that out. He sniffs that out, and nothing is to be had here. So very nice play from Keetrus even early onto the game. He's got the spidey senses tingling, even though it's so early in the game. I'm getting sidetracked because I'm looking at what's happening top here because the Zac is pathing for a level 2 gank, but not quite. He's actually just going to go straight for an invade as a Zac here into a Hecarim, and I'm not too sure if they had the vision on this Hecarim, but this is definitely going to work out. He's going to take the blue buff here, possibly even more, and if Hecarim paths into his top side, I think it'll be too late for him to trade anything back. He'll have to run double back to bot side, and that's just going to ruin his plan in general to path towards this top here. Nash is going ahead and fixing the overlays for you guys, so I'll keep casting ahead here, and we do see the Metal Gear Solid plan Pandemonium sneaking into the enemy jungle, taking away a blue buff, and we're about to see Niedermama find that out. He's going to be probably very confused what's going on, but that is just going to be a buff taken. However, it has kind of ruined his path. Zac's clear isn't amazing in the early game, but certainly that's going to ruin some tempo. It's going to take away a precious resource from the enemy jungler, but it's also not really going to put him a great deal behind because it's kind of ruling the tempo of his own jungle clear. So I'm sure Niedermama is still going to go for those crabs using that downtime he would have used for blue, even go towards a Raptor camp here. No, he's just going to look for a reset and look for anything else on the map, possibly an invade, possibly a gank on one of these lanes after purchasing. Or could just go for the safe play and go for a scuttle here, but all said and done, nothing too crazy happening. Vayne going up 10 CS in the lane as we would expect from this matchup. However, no sparks flying just yet. Both teams laning it out, playing towards their strengths, and definitely I think the longer this game goes on, that's when the Caitlyn and Vayne get that scaling going. That's when they're going to be a big threat, and these champions like Sion and Volibear definitely start to fall off sort of. Especially into the ranged hyper carries, it's going to be very difficult to deal with, but we'll see what they've got planned here as the support and Niedermama getting some vision down in the enemy jungle. We'll see if there's any scuffles that will happen here, but nope, looks like Niedermama's going straight back for that full clear and farming it up, and he's already built a tiny bit of a lead here, just about one camp, but yeah, Zac's recovered pretty nicely after going into that blue buff. We'll see whether he can keep up now that Niedermama's camps are going to be respawning. He's going to go for another full clear, but we'll see if it ends up having any effect on this game. I think we're just waiting basically for some objectives to spawn, bouncing waves between each other, and I gotta say, Johnny's doing a nice time in top lane. He bounced the wave back, he farmed up all the minions, and Ezra hasn't really zoned him off super hard just yet. Obviously, Volibear in the early game with that shield, with the Q, can definitely threaten Vayne, but after she starts stacking up some items, gets those levels in that true damage, it's going to become much harder for this Volibear to play the game.
Alright, there we go. I think I fixed everything now. There was just too much going on in them. Alright, anyway, I'm back. I've sorted it all. My OCD is calm now. I'm good. Alright, anyway, so
Yeah.
what have I missed so far?
Nothing much, as you can see. Zeros across the board, just some CS advantages here and there. Nothing great has happened here, but that might change as the dragon is now on the map, as the grubs are spawning up, as we get towards some items and we get some agency. Might see something happen, but it's just definitely a bit of a laning thing. He's here. Oh my god, Johnny just cancelled that back. Maybe even fancies his chances, but now realizes Pandemonium is in the area. Misses out on the elastic slingshot too, and we're even TPing the sign up top. Is Johnny able to bait anything out of this, or did they catch that? No, it looks like they are respecting. They are going to go back, and San, even though he TP'd top, is probably going to be able to walk down mid and not lose out on too much there, but certainly not the play that Wolves were hoping for. Hoping that AltF4 were going to over-aggress there, but they play it cool, and they play just fine there, and they get out with a teleport onto the mid laner. Oh, looks like Niedermama is looking for something here. He's sitting in the bush, and Pandemonium is going to face check into him. Niedermama is going to take this fight, but they are playing a little bit respectful. Might be respecting the Galio ult, but not anymore. Pops the Ghost. He's going all in versus Zura. Barriers pop there, but it doesn't block much damage at all. However, Ezra coming in with the ultimate, and the Ghost runs down that jungler, and now here comes the support. Choo-choo train in the top lane up, but they're playing it so well. Cutting out all over the shop here. Finally, he splashes onto Azura to take him down. But can they trade anything back? No, not quite. The sun is just too thick, and they are going to take the 2-for-1 trade and call it a day after clearing this wave. But that's already the first fight going the way of AltF4. Beautiful Dwayne up here. He's looking for an angle, and if Niedermama ran straight to these grubs, I think it's a possibility, but he's prioritizing the full clear here. He doesn't want to take more coin flips in this game. He wants to make sure he's got agency, but scratch that, he's just gotten off. Maybe they've realized something and said, hey, this is an angle for us, we're going to take this fight now, but will they be able to get anything now? Pandemonium has to get out of the pit, has the flash, has the smite, maybe can come back in for a steal, but we're just going straight for another fight. Maybe some ults are down, and now Niedermama finds an ult of his own. Gets a beautiful two-man ult onto Ezra and Strider, but they're trying to swing back. Pandemonium trying to peel his team, but the tanks just aren't enough. 4 strong, won't take them down, and now the blob's soon to follow. Ezra getting pounced on by Jonu, and Warped are so good in these early skirmishes around the grubs. They take another team fight victory around this objective, and I'm not sure we've seen a team beat them yet at these early grubs.
No, I don't believe so either. In memory from previous rounds, I don't think they've actually lost any grubs before. Damn, that kind of
they just rotate beautiful Dwayne up normally every time, and they just play the team fight spectacularly. They play slow, they play the angles, they find it, and there's a beautiful Hecarim ult to basically just seal the deal right at the beginning, catching 2 members out, catching their main carry in Azura without his summoners in that top lane fight. Without the ultimates, it just wasn't an easy fight for AltF4 to take, but there is always an action and a reaction here. As we look at the bot lane, tower plates have been going down quite fast here. On Fleek and Akuma smacking down that tower, picking up 3 plates for themselves. So if you go ahead and look over the gold, even though they had some kills go over, the gold lead is by no means doomed, and there's lots of money sitting in On Fleek's pocket.
Jeez, bot lane kind of getting OP. I'm sorry, I've just missed everything. There was a audio error that got caused. I had to fix that. So all right. Well, what have I missed in the last minute? You want to give me just a quick rundown while we're? Never mind. There might be a drag play here. No,
we might not be able to talk about the past because we're living in the present, and AltF4 are using this bot lane advantage to take this dragon. It seems they do have a pink on the pit. There's no vision, but maybe Ash finds a hawk shot, but it's gone down pretty quickly. I don't think they have the angle here, and they're just going to give it over.
Yeah, that's an easy secure for AltF4 there, and back into top lane we're seeing poor Jonu having his way pushed into the bloody vein. Man,
it's not really the spot you want if you get run down by this Vayne. With the fleet footwork and the ultimate down the lane, she most certainly can take a full HP volleyball down to 0, but Johnny knows about this. He's not going to contest it. He's just going to use this time to get some vision for his team and clear out some vision. It's definitely, he knows his role this game. He knows he has to sacrifice some things, some CS in this lane, but if his team do good on the other side, then they've definitely got a good opportunity to win this game if he keeps things under control.
Of course, and honestly, respect on Jonu though. Like, they're still going in for the full damage volley build. All right, respect. I love it. All right, even though you know versus the Vayne, I love it.
Yeah, he's going for that jack of all trades,
yes,
the infinite earth build, basically, once you get that Navori.
Oh no, not the cannon!
See whether he's able to do anything. No, doesn't quite get the cannon, but he's almost like sniffs out this gang. I feel like a regular sign maybe walks up for a Q there just to finish it off, but he knows that there's a possibility that Pandemonium is in the area, and he doesn't fall for the bait there, and Niedermama is walking through this guy's top lane side jungle, taking everything. Maybe he sniffs something out now. Might see a bit of a fight up here, but Niedermama's playing it fine. Knows he has to give respect over with the Galio ult, with the Vayne, being able to rotate and basically be so strong in these fights. Doesn't do anything. And yeah, we're just seeing a bit of a quiet in this game. They've traded over the dragon, but I think, you know, if the longer we leave this bot lane alone, the more On Fleek's going to build this lead, because he's almost broken this tower at 10 minutes.
Yeah, that bot tower is not going to last much more waves. This is kind of crazy. In the bot lane here, such a just overpowering AltF4 with the cake. happening, but oh, he does get caught up here with the Zac but the ulti. Does he get out though? He might live if he gets. No, he doesn't get the E off. Unfortunate, but that is just the fate of volley into the vein. Can't run away. Can't live even if you ult. And avert my eyes as a top laner. I can't watch.
You can't watch the sinner.
I can't.
But it is, you know, you can't deny it. It is a strong pick here. He is definitely showing off the power of this Vayne top that people haven't really been busting out so far. But yeah, it's talking about showing the power, we might see Niedermama play a bit more active. He's level 8. He's got an Eclipse now onto this Hecarim. He's one of the most, if not the most rich champion. Yeah, he is the most rich champion in the game, sitting at 4,800 gold here on this Hecarim right now. Grub spawning. You got to be feeling good as Niedermama here coming into this fight now. They are rotating some champions up. Akuma Senpai is here, but on fleek with most of this lead, with the full collector, isn't here at this Grub fight, so they got to be careful without that. They still fancy their chances. Pandemonium going in, but the team just really isn't there. Finally, Vigalio comes in, but another onslaught of shadows from Niedermama finds out Akuma Senpai. She's able to flash the wall, get out, but now Strider's in there, but Keisha is absolutely slowing him down, making it so difficult, and Akuma Senpai finds herself isolated and gets run down by the horse.
Oh no, not the fish sticks. Oh no. Oh, that's so unfortunate for AltF4 there. But again, just warped. Their team fighting is just insane.
Yeah, every time you test these guys at the Grum, they're ready. They've got a game plan. And Niedermama, I think in particular, he's playing so well around his power spikes. I believe last time he went to the Raptors to hit level 6 before the first Grub fight, just so he had ult just for that fight, and he won it out with that one. And just as the second Grub spawn, he's at an amazing power spike. Level 8 Eclipse completed. No champion in the game can basically contest him at that point, and he wins another fight for his team. This guy is really intelligent with his pathing and his timing, and is really shown to win out these top lane objectives right now. But that's all well and good, but to get good value out of the Grubs, you got to be hitting the enemy towers now. He needs the lanes to pick up somewhere. They got to build some advantages, because these towers are just getting smacked on by these ranged champions on the other side of AltF4.
Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Oh, do not look top. Do not look top at Azura.
Get him! Finish him! Kill him! Oh, and Azura just getting run down. There is no way you're getting out of there. Oh, the flash. He might trade one for one. Can he get a kill? Oh, one more auto will kill him. No, go back, Jonu. Oh, and he just lands, saving Jonu's life from sheer death.
Yeah, that was so close. In a 1v4, Ezra almost pulled something back for his team, but not quite. But if anything, he's put 4 champions top. There's waves going down mid. They're taking towers bot. It's still a pretty good result if you're on the side of AltF4. Sometimes that's all you need. It's just you need your top lane Vayne to pull the resources top side, and you're going to be winning out on the map. Now they've got brilliant setup for this dragon. Look at the absolute vision control they've got for this bot side. And the bot lane haven't reset yet, and it's just going to be another dragon most likely going over to the side of AltF4 unless there's some miracle here.
Nah, like watch this Hecarim play. He's got that dog, and if he's got an ult and steal, he's gonna do it. He's almost there. He must have had ult. It's alright. Must have had ult. It's unfortunate, but you know it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting.
They're second of the Dragons. It's a nice win condition in their pocket, but in terms of gold, both teams are pretty even here. Neither team given over significant advantages. One team has the Grubs, one team has the Dragon. Which one's better? I'm sure we'll find out. But as this warped comp, yeah, you're not really getting this lane prior. You're not getting over to those towers very often to use these Grubs. I'm sure once they do crash a wave, they find an angle, those Grubs are going to pay off tremendously. But as it stands right now, it hasn't really granted them that much in the game, and the looming threat of a Dragon Soul is always going to be there. Getting the Hex Tech as well. Oh my god, Niedermama just sent it onto Akuma, just pulls the bluff saying, your team isn't here. I'm taking you down. No flash, no exhaust, no life. As they take him down, but now they got to make the great escape. As the team AltF4 are turning it around, they get the shutdown onto Niedermama, and Ezra is running down. Keisha's getting revenge now. He's got the numbers behind him. They're going to find the team fight victory and find a double kill for Vayne.
I mean, very good turnaround coming in from AltF4 there. It looked really well at the start of that when Hecarim was able to just go in and just basically secure the kill on the Inami before the fight even broke out. But just the follow-up from Panda, and then just not only the follow-up and just frontlining from Panda, but just on fleek, just standing there and just getting free auto hits, completely just took down, essentially just took down Hecarim by himself, just with his autos. And wow, I mean, good follow-up just by AltF4.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna spend all those resources onto the support, you do have to be careful of that turnaround because Akuma Senpai, while she brings you know, some great support to the team, she's not the main threat. And the main threat of OnFleek, who's been picking up so much gold in the spot lane, was left untouched. Ezra, who was left untouched, had his summons, had his ultimate, and just no threat to just walk forward and dump out the autos on Vayne. We see what happens, and that's got to be a premonition of what might happen later on in the game if you let things get out of control. If you don't pick your angles correctly, these carries are going to run a train on these these tanks here. So you're going to have to see Warped definitely dial in. They can't really afford to let any more mistakes through because we see the gold lead start to creep away from them.
Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been perfect if the support on Sion had the high noon skin on him. Oh, that just crisp skin picking. But I also just want to say, call back. Like 6 minutes ago, I swear Volley had bought his Rod of Ages and he sold it for something. I'm very confused. I swear to God, I saw him have Rod. I'm like, oh, wow, that's brilliant. Like, good timing on it. And then 3 minutes later, I see him buy it again. And what just happened? I mean, all right, fair enough. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
you must have
see that one myself. But yeah, it's definitely not where you'd like to be. Normally, you're able to purchase Rod of Ages around 10 minutes, 11 minutes if you've got really good tempo. But of course, Vayne's going to ruin that plan. It's just stacking up a little bit slower, and the item's definitely not as valuable if you're not able to hit that 10 stacks earlier on in the game, where the stats are really valuable. Yeah. But needless to say, Johnny always knew he was probably going to be a bit of a supporting role in this game, laning into a Vayne. I think he's doing a fantastic job so far, and it's really up to the team to make some other plays to get back into this game, as they're slowly losing the thread a bit, and OnFleek is starting to get creeped towards these big power spikes close to his infinity edge, and we all know what happens when you step on a Caitlyn trap at these item points. It is really scary for these champions here, who haven't stacked up a tremendous amount of resistances yet, but you know, they're already working towards it. One thing we haven't talked about is the fact that Team Warped are pretty AD heavy. Even an AP Volibear who has a bit of damage on the E, a lot of his other abilities are physical damage, so they've effectively drafted for AD, and the only other one is just Milio, who's not going to provide much damage at all. So definitely something we're seeing from Chris and Pandemonium stacking up the armor here, but Nita Mama going in, finds the Akuma Senpai again. Leave her alone, man. They're just onto the support. Every time, drop another ult on their head, but here comes the Galu, looking to find the engage. Johnny trying to get out of there, and here comes the 2-2 train. Absolute chaos, splitting the front and back, but Wolves are coming out strong. They're trying to turn it back with trying to Pandemonium in the front line, but they can't. The damage isn't there. OnFleek getting absolute jumped on by the support. It's just too much damage, too much tanks, and they take out AltF4 in the mid lane. You've got to admit, maybe if Ezra was there, they had something with all these low health bars, but they know this Vayne is running the barrier. So they find the angle, they find the engage, and now they're going to find the dragon as a result. A big win for Warped.
I'm shocked. I was not like with that fight. They dumped a lot into just killing Akuma Senpai, and they still managed to win that team fight. Where like as soon as I saw that Hecarim just solo Akuma, I thought the game. I thought that team fight was lost. I thought Warped weren't going to win that, but somehow pulling it through. Even with OnFleek essentially being untouched, we did see the support Sion. He was on top, trying to go for OnFleek, but for most of that fight, he was just getting 3 hits, and they still couldn't out DPS Warped. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean, if we start to break it down, we were talking about OnFleek's build. He hadn't really hit that IE yet, which is the big power spike, and he was sitting on a collector versus lots of armor. Hecarim has inbuilt armor onto his W, I believe, and the Volibear and the Sion have already stacked up a decent amount. When you play a front-to-back team fight like that, your collector's basically bringing you nothing to the fight. As we see Peter dropping the collector OP in the chat. Yeah, they really needed the Vayne to help bolster that team fight damage, and I'm sure they would have come out ahead with the amount of damage Vayne's allowed to provide if she's left unhit there, but again, they burn the ult on the Nami, the Vayne's not there to punish, and the Caitlyn just isn't at that power point to get through these frontliners yet, so they pick up a crucial victory. You're gonna stop the Dragon stacking ever so slightly and bring them back onto even footing, but it's just that even footing, neither team really finding the knockout blow yet, and the game goes on. We're gonna see if they're able to get anything with this Herald, looking to just get the charge, but certainly nothing. But here come the pings, they're looking for a rotate. Are we gonna see a fight in the mid lane?
It's him, he's big, he's going in.
A beautiful ult hitting OnFleek there, and a nice engage. The counter engage coming through from Strider, but it's just versus Chaos. They're playing the front and back again, and they're just coming out so strong on fleek. Getting picked off there. The CC coming through, just not allowing this Caitlyn to play. And Ezra finally makes it, but it's too little too late. 5 champions chasing him down. Is he going to get caught out here? Flashes the sun just in time to get away from the rest of the team of Warped, but now they're bringing it over to the Baron. With 3 dead, can they do anything about this?
No, I don't think they have. I do not believe they have any answer to this. Any answer involves someone dying for it, and I don't believe they have the I don't think they can outburst it, honestly. So this is they're just gonna push in waves if they can into that. Oh no, not looking good for AltF4 here.
Yeah, AltF4, this is definitely a painful moment for the Baron. They've got to stop the bleeding. They've got to extend this game to the point where, you know, this Vayne can really take off, this Caitlyn can really take off, but right now, they're just not finding the team fights. It's really hard for them to get away from this Hecarim, who is just so fast, so strong. He's level 14 into this game. 727 now picked up the Zeke's Convergence, a bit of an underrated item, and like a lot of people think this is a support item, but plenty of these champions that get in there with their ultimates definitely love the stats. It provides armor, it provides health, it provides magic resist. Definitely a strong item, and it's so cheap at 2,600 gold.
Yeah, I actually got told about that item only today. After actually looking at the stats on it, it doesn't even look like a full support item anymore, really, because it doesn't have that the linking effect anymore. It's just the ulti. You get a bunch of you get extra damage. And I think it was armor, or maybe it was armor match business. But yeah, it's looking like a very good pickup for exactly what you said. Anyone that just wants to ult in, especially the Hecarim. But I think this is looking really, really dangerous for AltF4, because if they get to keep stacking these dragons for free, you know, as a gold player, you know, I only think of drags, but I mean, if they keep getting to stack these Hex Tech drags, like, that's extra ability haste. I mean, sure, it's not a lot, but that's what, and it could count up to what, maybe a few extra seconds, well, probably not a few extra seconds, but that's just a lot more Q spamming for both the volley and the Hecarim. I think it's just, ooh.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting game state. We saw them take the Baron, but they reset and they sort of danced around the jungle for a bit, not taking any chances running down the lane here, because AltF4 were moving 5 together strong. They ended up taking down a second tier as a result, but now Team Warped are the ones grouping up. You trying to use the last drugs to that Baron, but that's just that. It's the last minute of the Baron or so, and they don't have much time left to get advantages out of this. And now they're looking for an angle into the support. Don't quite find it, because Nita Mama is coming through, and he finds a Kubo again, not the fishy, for the 5th time this game it feels like, but he's alone. No one's there to back him up. Has he gone too far? Johnny trying to provide support, but no, he's gone down. Ezra finds a big shutdown, and do they have any damage left? It's all on Ketras as the Ashe to bring this one back. The tanks are doing their duty, buying time, but is it enough? Ketras finding some amazing kiting now, peeling back to take down Pandemonium. Can he do it? Yes, they take down the bombs, and the rest of the team are falling flat. Jonu is absolutely wreaking havoc in this backline. Left alone, Vayne is nowhere to be seen, probably zoned out by Jonu himself. I don't know what was going on the back end of that team fight, because my camera wasn't there, but apparently Jonu is running train on their backline.
I watched my boy. That's my volley bear boy. That's him. He absolutely was just he did the only thing he needed to do was just run Azura away from the fight. Azura almost got 1v1 by the volley bear, but he just kept chasing him all the way down to nearly tier 1 in here for blue side. Oh my god, that's my boy right there. Now he's a big boy. He's a big threat now. He can walk that Vayne out the fight. Let's go. That's just, I mean, he's
we see this stacking the armor, and it's just so effective into these AD carries. You know, they've got magic damage on the Galio and the Zac, but it's just not threatening enough. They can stack this armor, and these tanks aren't really far ahead. They're not really doing much in terms of damage, so I think they've made an excellent choice to just stack this armor, and that's paying off tremendously, because these AD carries aren't super ahead. They're not tearing through these tanks, and it's just, the fights are going so long. They're just buying so much time for the Hecarim and the Ashe to put damage back out onto the carries of their own. And I think, you know, the battle of attrition is just slightly going the way of Warped, which I wouldn't have expected from the team pops. You'd think the Vayne would be tearing through this volley bear, but Jonu's just done such an amazing job to get to this point. Now he's picked up some kills and assists in the fight, and he's basically caught all the way up to Azura.
That's my boy. Yeah, see, look, the volley bear. I told you, the volley bear coming in strong. Honestly, though, I'm liking the spirit pickup from volley. Just to comment on his build. I'm kind of waiting to see if he does go through with the usual. I think it's the meta pick at the moment for him, the flicker blade. I was kind of seeing if he wanted to go down that route because I mean he's got the armor now, he's got the tankiness. If he has flicker blade in, you just Q W W W W, and it just turned into a nightmare to try and verse the volley. But oh, very interesting.
Yeah. We're seeing some interesting macro play. The support's always just being sent off to the side, and I think AltF4 just knows it's not worth trying to get the stun. He's just going to press his R button to get away if you commit too many resources, and even if you somehow block the R, you know, you get 5 people on him, it's still probably going to take a good 20 seconds that they're going to take map control on the other side and punish you for. This Sion is just unanswerable right now, but they're looking for an arrow onto Pandemonium. They find him. Nidamo's trying to deny the jump, and he does just that at the last moment. Can they deny the portal? Yes, they do, and now the jungler goes down with Baron just about to spawn. Absolute disaster.
Oh man, that feels bad. I mean, the Baron stopped him from going through the portal, and instantly his jump, he instantly got cancelled out of his jump. I saw that charge for not even half a second, and then he just gets clotheslined by the Hecarim. But oh, this is not great. You've lost your main frontliner. You've still got the Galio, and they're just breaching now. Tier 2 falls. Are they going to keep going? They don't have a wave yet. Looks like they might just back off and just secure more Baron vision, unless they're going top.
Yeah, they're looking to grab more here. The Baron hasn't quite spawned yet, and they're just rolling 5 strong. They know how strong this front to back is with this Milo, with this Ashe being so powerful at this point. And of course, Nidamo's, the moment they find a missed position, he's just pouncing on it straight away. He's been such a key engager for the team fight, but now we saw Ashe find a beautiful engage, and even onto the Zac, the tanky Zac, they're able to bring him down in seconds with this lead they've accrued here for themselves. Now, taking the chunk out of the second tier, pressuring these mid lane, pressuring the top lane. It's just a difficult scenario for AltF4 to be in. Now they're going to be rolling towards the Baron. It's only a matter of time before they make a mistake, it feels like, back, and Nidamo's is going to find that engage again. But they're going to spend their money, they're not going to cook too hard. They know that the enemy team are probably very scared. They can't walk into this Baron pit and start it up, and they're going to get a reset in here and spend their gold.
Yes, sir. And even then, like they've got the gates to get back so much quicker, so they don't really have anything to worry about. Even if they wanted to try and sneak that Baron while they got that recall off. But yeah, I don't see how AltF4 can. I don't see what kind of team fight possibility they can get. I mean, they'd have to crush in this Baron fight right here, maybe with the Galio on top of the Zac jump in. Like, it's got to be because like the Zac has gone mostly armor here, and he's just getting shredded after this fever stacks coming from I can't remember his name, Hecarim, but the Baron does fall. He tried to contest a little bit, but did get caught there, so not looking good. We got some Baron time now, Baron play time. See what Warped can do.
Second one of the game here. It's going to be rough to survive this one. The second tier's already so low top, and again, support's just going to go into the mid lane, start pushing out waves, and who's going to contest him in this game? No one's got the damage other than Vayne, it feels like, who's just gone Terminus, which is a Rage Blade. It's just like, she's going to take so long even to kill the Sion with the Silver Bolts. It's just, they don't have a very powerful team fight at this moment just because they're so far down. These AD carries definitely are going to take a while to get through these frontliners, but it's not going to take anywhere near as much time for Hecarim to find that ult onto one of these carries, delete them off the game. Keitras is dealing so much damage himself with the Milio in his back pocket. It's all of a sudden, it looked like, you know, if AltF4 were able to just build a slight lead, it's really easy for them, but now that they're significantly behind, it goes the other way. I don't see a way for them to really come back outside of a huge wombo combo, like you said, from Pandemonium and Strider.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless they do something, they have to do some huge wombo combo. If not, they need to, honestly, even just one pick, I don't think they have to pick off at least the Hecarim first. If with only one pick, if they have to, just the Hecarim. If not, they need to get at least 2 picks to even try and win a team fight. But their third Hextech Drag has fallen. We're now on Soul Point, if it even gets to that. Let's see what Warped can do. They do have Baron, I believe, for a little bit longer. Looks like they are going to push just mid and bot, trying to stack in traffic in this inhib.
Yep. They've got the open in here, but I think if they really wanted to run it down, they could. But just getting in the waves, playing it smart, playing to pull pressure away using the mid wave and the Scion as a distraction here before they enter the base. Team Warped are playing it so by the book here, and they're not taking any risks. They're never underestimating their opponents, it seems like, and it's just paying off dividends here. They're playing the slow, careful game, finding the engages that they really like, and they haven't really slipped up outside of some of those early fights ever since, it feels like.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen any incredible mistakes here. We do see double, kind of a small jump from Zach. Don't know if they could have done something there, but they are just playing it nice and slow, and that's enough to crack that inhib there. Does look like Azura did push this Scion out of mid, but it looks like they've got what they wanted, and they're leaving. They're, just clean. Don't need to risk anything. They've got the lead. They'd like to keep it. They're almost AK up. It's just at this moment, it's just slowly just increasing this gap just to exponentially large. Big words. But here we go.
Yeah, certainly are extending that, and then again, like you said, they're not making any crazy plays. They're just playing it by the book, and it's just beautiful to watch a team that doesn't make any mistakes like this. Other teams definitely try overcook, maybe dive the mid lane, inhib tower, and things go wrong. They can't find the engage onto the backline. Suddenly, Caitlyn and Vayne are free hitting, getting kills. It could certainly turn the game on its head with shutdowns going across, but they're not taking any risks. They're playing the objectives, they're playing the waves, and they're just playing good. It's just good League of Legends coming out of Warped here. Not giving any mistake over, which is basically the only way AltF4 can find a way back in, is they need to punish a big mistake out of them. But they're not biting, they're playing so good, and it's just a matter of time before the Baron respawns, before this Dragon spawns, or, the Sun comes knocking on a side lane. You've got to answer these plays coming out, and you can't sit in base forever. What can AltF4 do to get back into it?
Yep, I mean, outside of just a huge team fight win, literally. Oh, what's this? How much? All right, no, not that. Let's ignore that. Honestly, they just need picks. They if they can even I don't see how they can even get a pick as well, just because of how much they're grouping. I don't see a best way for AltF4. It's just got to be capitalizing on mistakes. Honestly, I don't see any other way of doing it. But I do want to call attention to something. We do see a hold the line from Gator though. Just want to quickly mention, he might see a Rage Blade coming in on the Vayne. But I have noticed the Flicker Blade has been finished on the Volibear. So, I mean, honestly, they could go for dives with the Volibear ulti. It's not that risky with his ulti, at least from what I would suspect. And Scion, the support, he's going in for a deathless game. He's still 0 deaths. That's the big boy in the mid lane. No deaths yet. He's
holding it down. I think he's a bit of an underrated player onto these support tanks. You might think he is just, as his name applies there, the support for his team, but he plays so well around the style that they're asking from him a lot of the time. He is just that person in the side lane constantly drawing pressure. He's that person rotating to these grubs fights for his jungler, always playing around his jungler so well. And a lot of the times, the more selfish mids will miss out on plays like that, but the support always so good around his team play, and while he doesn't do anything flashy in his own lane, he doesn't have to. Clearly, they've got a formula that works, and he knows his role, he plays his position, and he plays it damn well. And even though nothing crazy's happened from the Sun, he's a key instrument to their success. And yeah, it's just a matter of time now before these objectives respawn, and AltF4, you got to come out of the base, you got to do something here. We got to see some signs of life. I want to see them take one big fight, send it balls to the wall. Let's take them down, or we're going down. Only one result, stake it all or nothing onto this match, because if they keep sitting here giving away these objectives, I think they are just going to suffer a very slow and painful death.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, here comes the dumb spot. Is this the third or the fourth Baron?
The third one here, but the Dragon's not alive yet, and they're even keeping the Scion mid to get some pressure away from this objective. They they could trade some Baron, then some Dragon control over, but now Tosan's TP to the mid, and they've got to deal with this threat. He's going to try TP out, but unfortunately Caitlyn's hitting him there. But again, this is a Sion. He's just going to ult out.
He
And
drifted.
now the Dragon Souls on the map, they're going to take it. And
They've been robbed.
nothing they can do about it. There's 2 objectives gone down. Just like I said, these objectives go over. I think it's lights out. 4 Hextech Dragons on the side of Warped and a Hextech Soul. One of the most powerful souls in the game. What are they going to do? Nidamoa doesn't even care at this moment. He's going in by himself, but he's just so tanky. Ezra, though, finally getting some damage out onto Nidamoa. Dodging out on the ult, but there's some CC coming back. Can they win this fight? Front to back, and they are fighting their hearts out here. Ezra is absolutely doing his absolute best to take down these tanks. Finally getting through. Nidamoa and Polybear, 2 big shutdowns, and you know, even after all that, I said it's probably a bit doomed. They find a way that Vayne was free hitting for a solid 20 seconds, it feels like. And it is possible to kill them. It's very hard, but it is possible. And there's some signs of life. Finally, 36 minutes in this game out of AltF4.
Oh, just a bit too over eager there for a Hecarim play there, but oh, I can't even say, but yeah, they can still kill them, but you know who they can't kill? The Sion. He is unkillable. He will not fall. No, but yeah, that was a very, I mean, interesting play from the Heck. I think a little bit too over eager, kind of inting over the a couple of Barons, but then again, it doesn't really lose them too much. I mean, the 2 Barons, it sucks, but they've still got such a massive lead, 6k gold lead. Like, if they just play one proper team fight, like this next team fight, I don't think even that in would really matter. I think they're just having a bit of fun. But who knows, if they play a bit too much, we might see that goal lead shrink, and we might have ourselves a little bit of a reversal in this game.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. That was a big shutdown going over to the Vayne. Let me check the chat just to see what it was. It was a 200 gold bounty going over to On Fleek. And apparently the Hecarim didn't have a shutdown on them, maybe. I didn't see anything in chat. I think that's pretty criminal. They definitely deserve a bone to be thrown at them by Riot to try and get back to this game, but Alice has no 1k shutdown to claim. But still, Vayne got the Rage Blade now. She's on 4 items, 1 shy of full build, and you know, this game has gone that late that we're basically hitting those full build caps here. On Fleek, very close to full build himself. I think the main difference is these tanks on the side of AltF4 are nowhere near as powerful as the side of Warped, but then again, the damage on the side of AltF4 is so crazy. If this Vayne is allowed to free hit, we definitely will see her shred through these tanks. So, you know, the battle of the tanks versus the battle of the DPS, who's going to come out on top? I think it's going to be in the favor of Warp, but only because they've secured stuff like the Dragon Soul to bolster their team comp here. But yeah, you know, such a tremendous gold lead, but all that gold going onto Nidamoa right now is useless. He's hit his full build, and he can't really get any stronger. So I think the longer they drag this game out, there's actually a much better chance for them to win. And with no Baron on the map soon, they might be able to hold out and farm up for a bit longer.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, look, this does look like a very good opportunity for AltF4 to claw back some of their deficit. That's the word. These traps in the middle, they're really just cutting off any play that they can make. I'm a little surprised that they're not just seeing all these traps and then just immediately going into another lane. But I mean, Sion, yep, he thinks he might die, just gets the hell out of there. He does not want to play around with a Vayne.
Yeah, do not mess with Azura, sitting on 321 CS, 349 of On Fleek, you know. I criticize them, like, saying, like, you know, we got to make a play, but apparently not. They've been turtling, it out, and, you know, like you said, these Caitlyn traps make it so hard for these melees to enter. Their siege comp isn't really great unless they can really drive in and find that big engage to start the fight, that big arrow, that big Hecarim ult. But they're just being kept out of the base. They're not pulling the trigger, and they're slowly scaling on the side of AltF4, and it's very close to having a full build Caitlyn and a full build Vayne. And if you're not able to take these champions down, I think we could see a swing in this game.
Honestly.
I didn't see the angle earlier on, but AltF4 are slowly making me a believer.
Yeah, I mean, the threat of this Vayne is just getting ever so increasingly large just from getting the extra items. I don't think they can really play around too much more, because if they can't just dunk on the Vayne in the team fight, if the Vayne just gets to sit there, I mean, I don't know. I don't see why the Vayne couldn't just rip through everyone on the side of Warped. but we'll see how they play it. They might just wait. They might be cautious. They might also want to just wait for. Oh, never mind. Andy ults. Okay, never mind. Didn't have to stop my train of thought. back to what I was trying to lead up to. I mean, Elder. I guess Elder. If they want a real big nail in the coffin, just an Elder. That way, they're like if they decide to just go all in a fight in like the mid lane there. The Elder kind of secures them at least a pretty quick burst on, the ADCs on the side of AltF4. I got spoiled. Here we go.
Yeah, I heard it too, but that doesn't tell us the victor just yet. We see
both.
the Zephyr come through on Caitlyn, the hyper late game items coming through like the Zephyr.
Oh lord.
We definitely could see Sparks Fire soon with these objectives finally respawning an Elder Dragon and a Baron, like 5th Baron of the game for Warped if they get it.
Oh,
but
no.
If you give a Baron to a late game AltF4, they certainly could drive it all the way home too. They may have some open inhibs, but the Nexus is still sitting pretty. They've definitely got a chance to get back into this game, but they're always late to these objectives. The Warp setup is just too threatening, and it looks like they're going to get the 5th Baron of the game. Or the 4th. I know, I'm losing count now. You don't normally see this, but now they have full control over this Elder, but Warp don't care. They're going side laning with the Baron.
Alright, we've got Volibear flanking with the 3 other members of Warped, and we got someone on the top lane. I like 8,000 already, half HP on the Elder. Let's see what I don't even know. It's folding. It's gone.
The Sun's knocking on the base here. Are they going to answer this? Strider goes in. They're trying to find a pick, but they're kiting out. Pandemonium now trying to flash in, but the kiting is too strong. Hedrus finally gets caught here. Even throws a Ashe ult to Africa there while he's at it. And Pandemonium now getting turned on by this Ashe by himself. Strider by himself. The frontliners are going down, and with that, the frontliners, who will protect the backline? Who will protect Mr. President Azura and Onfleek? Now the frontliners are gone. It is a 3 versus 5 to hold the base. Can they do it? They have the Elder Dragon in their pocket, but the whole team of Warped are going to come knocking.
Oh no.
And can they do it to hold this game?
Oh no, just the freak out coming in from AltF4. They're just seeing the threat of the TP play from behind in their base. It's just they split their team up a bit too much. Oh, the pickup, dude. They still have Elder, but they're knocking on the gates. They want in. Let them in.
Big Ashe on the chin, and Chris O'Hara finds Azura again. They take him down. Johnny runs up with the finisher. Beautiful Dwang. Big ult to get his team out alive. Onfleek, it is all on your shoulders. Can you hold steady when you're facing defeat? Right now, there is just too much for them to do. Onfleek, doesn't matter how he played it, Akuma couldn't do anything. They finally take him down, and Team Warped, after a grueling 43 minutes, take first place in Northern Territory Esports Championships.
Oh my goodness. Holy hell, what a way to end the game. I was not expecting that. I love the play. That last play from Warped, I absolutely love it. Just that, hey, Sion, go do Sion things, split top. No worries, you boys have fun. And I was like, when the Elder got picked, I was expecting just a massacre coming in from AltF4 just to wipe out at least 2-3 members of Warped. But they got danced around. They were just doing what they needed to do, wait for their Sion to just try and end the game. And as soon as the team just split off too much, we got the Galio trying to back up, the Zac going in, and with Vayne getting delayed by the Volibear Jonu. It's just, it was just perfection by Warped here. Just absolutely perfect play of just to end the game. Like,
Yeah, it was really beautiful across the board there. There was certainly some signs of life there from AltF4 too. They held it together, they held it down, they just couldn't keep holding on. They were holding on for what felt like an eternity there. Just wouldn't let go, just Walt beating down on them, telling them to give up. They wouldn't do it, but they finally find the knockout punch there in the mid lane, finding Pandemonium and Strider to end the game. Who knows how that would have went if they found a successful reset with the Elder. We really couldn't tell, but unfortunately, that's an alternate timeline. We're living in the present where Warped are your #1 team here tonight, and they are looking so strong coming into the rest of the season. Now, with that said, we got to get into the SVPs and MVPs, and I guess we'll start off with the SVPs here. What are your thoughts?
I am brain empty, mind cannot see. I don't know. Azura. outside of that early game, it essentially hinged all on like Azura just to just to pull out the DPS stops, all the stops just to try and delete through the front line of Warped. I mean, he had some very good run-ins in the team fights, but I don't know. It's so hard to hard to pick one or the other. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm gonna pass it back to you, Liam. What do you think? I'm gonna need some help deciding this.
Yeah, well, look, I think we can't sugarcoat things. The front lane, the scorelines didn't look good. The front line, the scorelines didn't look well. I don't think they found any key engages. I think Strider did his job early game. He dropped the ults, but there were certainly moments where they pushed too far as the front lane. They get caught out, and can you really blame them? Milio Ash just perma slowing them. It's very difficult stuff, but. Yeah, there were no plays here, so I can't really look their direction. Akuma Senpai sort of played her role as the enchanter, but she also got caught out a fair amount by Nita Mama, so I'd say, that kind of rules her out. I'm just going process of elimination here, and
All right.
with Azura and Onfleek left on the board, I think, Azura had a pretty successful winning matchup. He had his jungle play around him a lot, which sort of propelled him to get the lead that he did. But in terms of just being self-made, like Onfleek, I think he did a great job at getting that early game lead. He got the early game priority for bot lane to get those dragons. He was there and a key piece as to why they were able to build such a successful lead early game. And let's be honest, in those early game fights as a Caitlyn, there's not much you can do. You're at a sort of power trough on that collector going towards that IE. And he certainly put out the damage that game and topping the damage numbers. I'm willing to give it to Onfleek here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, but honestly, yeah, I mean, from that early prio, Azura was big, but Hunfleet kind of was just consistent. I couldn't say no to that. Absolutely.
Yep, and I think we'll leave it there. There's definitely room for discussion, but I think I think he picked it up last week. He's happy to share around the love, and shout out some of his team here. But in terms of Warped, again, another week I find Warped winning. I find it hard to choose between the 5 players. Again, I feel like everyone plays their position so well on this team, but if you had to choose someone, Nash, who are you leaning towards?
Well, okay, let's not get the bias in here, right? I don't know. There's so many. I mean, like, well, I can start with a few things. Let's see. One, the jungler Hecarim. Absolutely, like, I mean, there was all of his engages on just under the fish just looked. I mean, look, I'm a gold boy, all right. So they look questionable to me, but he just dunked straight through the team. Absolutely piloted that Hecarim well. We'll ignore that one weird he got a bit too happy in that one play, but that's okay. He's gotta have fun when he can. I mean, Sion unkillable, like did exactly what you need to do as a Sion. Just played around, didn't die, kept up his more importantly, he kept up his CS. Like, look at this CS though. Like in mid lane, he tower killer, backdoor, perfectly backdooring. He pilots Sion just so well. I'm in awe of how he plays it. It's awesome. Small brain, it is awesome. And then I'd like Janu, like he went into that with essentially a losing lane. He played it very well. Like besides that dive that did take him out for the first kill. Even then, that wasn't too bad of him. A play from him. He did bring it back. Like, look at the score now, 6-3-12. He was an absolute menace as well. There was so many fights where he was just a brick wall, and that wall was just, do not let Vayne near the team. The Vayne does not get to play the game. In your naughty corner, go on. It's just insane how well he just managed to just I don't even know the words. Just to keep Vayne in check and just police her. She just didn't get to play the game in so many of those team fights. Like if he didn't just let's use police. If he didn't police the Vayne, like that Vayne would probably have an extra 20k damage just from being able to hit the rest of the team. But it's insane. I don't know how we managed to just pull the Vayne away from the fight. But I wanna give it to like mid jungle top, but I don't know. I'd like to say I wanna put it between Sion and Volley, but I'd have to say my vote would have to. I'm kind of split between the Volley and the Hecarim. Well, what are your thoughts? Let's hear the professional.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the bot lane, they certainly did their job. I think Beautiful Duang had some beautiful roams early game that really helped the team get the ball rolling in those early grub fights. But it's just the skill expression, it's hard to say they really popped off. They just did their role, and the role of the Ash is to deal the DPS. Role of Milo is to keep everyone alive. They did a perfect job there. But I think the standout players, that the people who were pushed in the difficult scenarios, that had to be Johnny this game. He was pushed in a really difficult scenario. Pandemonium was top all the time. Nita Mama definitely gave some back to him, but he was constantly getting 2v1 up into that top side there. Found himself down in the lane into the vein as you normally would, but found a tremendous comeback story into that game to have a tremendous team fight like you were talking about, where he's just policing the vein completely by himself, +2. Like, he's zoning 3 what felt like in a team fight just by himself on the volley bear, which is a pick you normally think gets outscaled. It isn't going to even remotely challenge the vein. He's playing the champion, he knows his limits super well, and he does so much for his team. But the main thing he had to do was not int his mind out, which he did a fantastic job. He played weak side brilliantly, and a lot of other top laners in his shoes would have crumbled.
Yeah, that wouldn't be me. Come on, man. Why'd you have to say that when I'm here? Come on, man. No, but honestly, I agree. I mean, into a vein, I probably would have just lost my mind and rage quit. Not that bad,
Yeah.
but I would have been at one point probably on tilt from that game. And honestly, like, no signs of tilt. Just he played it cool.
Yeah, cool as a cucumber. Said, nah, I'd win. Gets to the late game as a volley bear and starts absolutely smurfing it in these team fights, doing well above his pay grade there. I think Johnny played an excellent game, and I'm happy to give MVP over to him.
That's my boy, the volley bear top. Honestly, yep, I'm giving it. We'll give it over to volley bear. Gotta love it. But look, I'm not gonna be biased or anything. But see, you play range top and see what happens. No. But that was all jokes aside, that was a very good pick into this team. It's just unfortunate the way the game went for him.
Yep, well, I think with that, we're happy to give it over to him, and that will be the final game of the night. And what a banger it was. Definitely a set of banger games here today. Big comeback story for the side of Fishing Esports in the first game there. Big fiesta between Destiny and MMA, really throwing punches the whole way to end it off with an Ardmona pentakill. And the final game of the night is AltF4 versus Warped, battling for first place, and just the tenacity of AltF4 almost brought it back from what looked like an unwinnable game, but Warped clutch out in the end, and they earned the top spot in this season. And it's on to the other teams to knock them off the top now. We'll see who can do it here, because AltF4 aren't going to have another chance for a long time. It's up to the other teams to step up, take a swing at the Kings here, and see who can take this top spot away from them.
Oh no. And I've just you'll understand why I'm now getting all sad. In saying what finishing what Chris was sorry, Liam. I don't know why I'm getting you confused. I must be tired today. Just want to announce the round 5. So next round, which is the 4th of July. So 2 weeks from now, we will have AltF4 versus Destiny, Jupies versus MMA. And unfortunately, it'll be Ed Astro versus Warped. I'm so excited. I get to verse the #1 team. I'm sick that week.
You get to take him down. You're the man.
Yeah.
Man of the hour.
Get that dog in me. Oh no, but yep, that'll does look like a bit of a banger. For next round as well. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Liam, any closing remarks you want to say for today's stream?
No, I think you've just kept it up there. I'm looking forward to the next week again, and hopefully you guys are too. It was a beautiful stream today, beautiful games. Hopefully we see you guys around, and yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. All right, thanks everyone for coming. Bye now. Oh, I forgot to do the stream stuff. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Sounding off a lot of eaters.